Can you tell us about Levin Papantonio's partnership with UWF and why it's important to the firm?
We're very excited about the partnership that we're engaged in with the University of West Florida, something we've been working on for a while. I've met with individuals there multiple times to kind of set this up for the law firm. But the overall idea here is to try to identify young, talented students who really want to go to law school and really want to pursue a career as a lawyer thereafter, and give those individuals an opportunity to learn what it's like to work in a law firm and hopefully to learn what it's like to be a lawyer. I'm very excited to have been working with you so far here at the firm. For those that don't know you though, can you tell a little bit about yourself and why you chose to pursue pre-law at UWF?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a junior at University of West Florida. Originally, I wanted to study the medical field. I wanted to be a doctor. The field of law was it was eye-opening to be able to study that, and then I realized it could become a profession. Like, I could be an attorney, I could help other people. That's what really drew me to the legal field.
Do you have any idea what area of law you might want to practice when you finish up with law school?
Coming into this internship, I definitely had a very broad scope of what I wanted to practice. I thought a little bit about immigration, but being here at Levin Papantonio, mass torts has really caught my eye. Being part of the process, seeing how it works, seeing how we interact with clients has been really fascinating to me, and definitely drawn me to the field of mass torts.
And you touched on it a little bit, but if you could explain a little more about, what specifically attracted you to Levin Papantonio?
So initially, when you came and spoke to our classes at UWF to introduce the idea of an internship at this law firm, I was just like, wow, it was impressive. And I researched Levin Papantonio and the history behind its founders, the attorneys that currently work here. And I just think it's really great what you guys do here, what you do for your clients, and the differences you made in our community.
Can you tell the folks watching this just a little bit about the cases and projects you're working on at the firm?
Yeah, of course. A lot of the cases I've been working on actually have a medical aspect to it. I've been working on helping attorneys such as yourself and Becca, Timmons, Madison with cases like Allergan, with the breast implants, Dupixent, the injections. One of my favorite has been Tepezza, because I've been able to contact clients and talk to them and help them throughout this process. And to be able to be that lending hand and kind of the connection between the clients and you guys has been an amazing experience, and I really enjoy it.
Can you give us maybe an example of one of the more exciting things you've been able to do at the firm so far?
I go through depots of testimony that doctors and expert witnesses and the defendants and the plaintiffs have given regarding their experience with Allergan, and just being able to go through that and highlight what I deem is important and what will help our case. That's been super exciting to me, because it's just, I'm part of the process, and to be able to be interactive and just kind of use my critical thinking skills has been an amazing experience.
From my perspective, one of the main reasons I wanted us to get involved in this program with the university is to provide young aspiring lawyers like yourself real world opportunities that you just can't really fully capture in the classroom. Could you maybe give an example of, some real world experience that you've received here that you just can't quite, replicate in a classroom setting?
Going back to talking to the clients, that's something you can't get from a book. Textbooks are very black and white, especially ones that have to do with law. And so to talk to different kinds of people, get their different opinions, deal with just different personalities, that's not something you can learn in a classroom. And so those people skills and just learning how to socialize on this side of the field, it's been cool, and just definitely something different that I'd never learned in a classroom.
So kind of building upon that, when I started the firm many years ago, it was sort of a rude awakening to me as far as how the legal profession really worked. What's something that you've learned here in your time with us that really surprised you, that this is different than what you thought it might be working in a law firm setting?
Honestly, the amount of critical thinking skills that I see all of the attorneys and paralegals putting into these cases, I knew that being an attorney required critical thinking skills, but that's a very large portion of the job. You're not just looking at laws and books and seeing what goes with what, you're using your brain and just really it's almost like a math, you're doing equations to figure out and solve these problems, and that's something that I realized is a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Can you just give a sense of whether your career goals have changed at all based on this experience? Are they the same? Do you feel stronger about being a lawyer? How do you feel after having worked here?
It's definitely given me a sense of confidence going into this, because I had switched my major at the beginning of my junior year, and to be able to go into the field and just see how it works, you guys giving me mentorship and showing me the direction to go in, it's only strengthened my desire to want to be an attorney. Being here it made me realize how many different types of law there are to practice and how to practice it, because not every attorney is the same. Everybody handles things differently, and I realized just how vast the field is, and it's only encouraged me.
As someone, finished, I think you said you're in your junior year and you're getting close to being done on the undergrad side, what are your 5 or 10-year goals from a professional perspective?
So in about 5 years, I plan on being freshly graduated from law school, just took the bar exam, and hopefully a baby attorney, associate attorney, perhaps a Levin Papantonio if everything goes right. And I love it here. It's very welcoming. And then in 10 years, hopefully I have a few years of experience under my belt. I'll feel more comfortable in the legal field, and I'll be able to actually make a difference and help out the community, help out the firm, and just be the attorney that I see all of you guys being every day. So Brandon, I have some questions for you. Why do you think it's important for students to experience a real law firm before graduating?
From my perspective, when I graduated law school, I knew a lot about what the textbook said the practice of law was about, but I didn't know a lot about actually practicing law. So I think it's really important from my perspective and the firm's perspective to give a glimpse or an insight for young aspiring lawyers like yourself to what this is really like in the real world. To make sure, number one, that your career path that you think you're on is the one that you ultimately should be on, but hopefully also to prepare you for what's to come so that when you hit the ground running as a new lawyer, you're ready to really make a difference day one. I really think that's important to me and important to us as a law firm.
How do you think that programs like this help shape the next generation of attorneys?
This program is really great to capture people when they're still, young, wanting to learn more about the area, wanting to expand their mind, expand their thought processes. I think it's great to catch people early and hopefully to steer more people into the practice of law. I'm hoping by opening our doors to more people, they can see that this is a place where you really can make a difference in the community, where you really can make a difference in people's lives, and to hopefully have that be in their minds and to drive and propel them going forward.
What are some of the challenges and or opportunities that you think attorneys from my generation are going to face?
I think the biggest thing is that, when I started practicing here 16 years ago, there was more face-to-face interaction with your clients. It was more common to speak with your clients frequently on the phone. Now the interaction is oftentimes more automated, so it's more difficult to develop that bond and that relationship with your client. I think it takes a lot more effort on your part to make sure that happens, because I think people are naturally less engaged with other people in their lives. That's a real challenge going forward, to make sure you make that concerted effort to keep that bond and that relationship with your client that you necessarily need to be a good lawyer for them in their case. What opportunities may be out there. Fortunately or unfortunately in our society, there are always going to be people that need help and that uniquely need help from lawyers who are critical thinkers, light on their feet when it comes to that, and are willing to go the extra mile for their clients. I think that's something that was present when I started at the firm, and even maybe more present even today than it was then. So I think it's really important, and it's a real opportunity in that vein to make sure you can be that advocate for your client and be the mouthpiece, so to speak, for your client when they don't have the ability to speak for themselves. We've had a great experience having you here. I think it's really solidified in my mind the importance of the Catalyst program at the University of West Florida and how we can be hopefully an important part of that program going forward. So I think you've done a great job sort of solidifying in my mind that this can work for us, for other individuals like yourself going forward that have the aspirations to be a young and thriving lawyer in this practice. And I think it will continue to be so going forward.